Welcome to this explainer. I'm Dan, CEO of Edgezone, and today, we need to talk about the absolute chaos of managing multiple algorithmic trading strategies. Listen, if you're out there running 5, 10, maybe 20 EAs across different accounts, you already know the nightmare I'm talking about. You're dealing with unmonitored execution, terminals eating up all your resources, and the ultimate account killer, hidden drawdowns. You might think your portfolio is diversified, but right under the surface, overlapping risks are just quietly eroding your capital. So today, we're putting an end to that blind spot. Welcome.
Okay, let's dive into this. Hidden drawdowns are literally the silent killers of quantitative portfolios. Think about it. When you're scalping 1-minute timeframes, your monitoring software simply cannot lag. I mean, every single millisecond counts, right? If your terminal freezes just because some poorly coded dashboard is looping through thousands of trade history records on every tick, you lose money. It's that simple. Lagging MT5 tabs and fragmented trade history spell absolute disaster for your capital. You need absolute, razor-sharp precision, not a clunky dashboard that's going to crash your execution environment.
So here is the paradigm shift. The old way of doing things? It's just legacy chaos. We're talking fragmented history, lagging tabs, and manual tracking in Excel. Yeah, no thanks. The Edgezone way, on the other hand, gives you institutional-grade certainty. We're talking unified tracking by magic number, zero latency execution, and real-time equity curves overlaying your entire portfolio. We are finally moving away from retail guesswork and stepping up to true institutional-grade certainty.
Which brings us to the main event. Enter Stratgy Monitor 1.3. This is it, the definitive, elite, read-only monitoring solution we built specifically for professional quantitative traders. And honestly, we completely stripped out the bloat for this one. It doesn't trade, it watches. It calculates, it protects. Think of it as a highly optimized analytical layer that basically sits right on top of your MT5 terminal, giving you actual X-ray vision into your automated strategies. Let me pop the hood of our MQL5 source code for a second to show you exactly why this thing is so insanely fast. The secret sauce here is the G magic lookup key. See, in traditional MT5 dashboards, the code is constantly calling history deal select, just looping through every single deal in your terminal over and over again. And that is exactly what causes your terminal to freeze up. So, we engineered an advanced array caching mechanism instead. It maps your strategy's magic numbers instantly. We run fast reverse lookups to a cached row index, and the result is zero latency history processing. Your terminal stays lightning fast.
Efficiency is absolutely crucial here. And that brings us to the number 300. In our code, this represents the imp update seconds variable. We default the dashboard refresh rate to 300 seconds, or 5 minutes. Now, you might be wondering why 5 minutes? Well, because a true institutional dashboard doesn't actually need tick-by-tick visual updates to calculate long-term KGRs or drawdowns. By letting you customize this incredibly lightweight background interval, we ensure the EA has virtually a 0% CPU footprint. That leaves 100% of your machine's processing power dedicated to what actually matters, your execution algorithms. But this zero latency philosophy, it extends to our broader ecosystem too. We're not just trapping your data inside MT5. We built a seamless JSON live export workflow. Here's how it works. First, the inpup export enabled function triggers. Second, the code compiles your real-time portfolio data. Third, it pushes a super lightweight JSON snapshot directly into your MT5 common files folder. And finally, our external desktop app reads that file instantly. You get this beautiful multi-monitor overview of your entire portfolio, and you do it without bogging down the MT5 server-side processes whatsoever.
Now, raw speed is awesome, but it's really only half the battle. Enter the Pro Analytics engine. This right here is where we separate the professionals from the amateurs. Our architecture tracks your strategies strictly by magic number to dynamically reconstruct highly accurate closed trade balance curves. We're not just, looking at your account balance. We are isolating the exact genetic performance of strategy A versus strategy B, and we're graphing them side by side, natively, right inside the terminal.
Standard MT5 gives you basic profit and loss, but let's be real, that is simply not enough. We calculate elite metrics entirely in the background. Take the gdeat calmar function. It calculates your calmar ratio, giving you a direct look at your net return versus your maximum drawdown percentage. Then, the gdeat kzr computes your compound annual growth rate over the exact calendar days you've traded. And finally, gdeat recfac tracks the recovery factor, mathematically proving the resilience of your system.
This is the exact institutional-grade visibility you need to know for sure which bot gets more capital and which bot gets turned off.
But hey, analytics only really matter if you can actually act on them, right? That's exactly why we build automated risk defense triggers directly into the architecture. You can set InpAlert Max DDPC to warn you the literal second a specific strategy hits a predefined drawdown. InpAlert Floating Loss monitors your live equity drops. InpAlert Min PF alerts you if a strategy's edge starts decaying and the profit factor drops. And my personal favorite? InpAlert No Trades Days. This alerts you to algorithmic stalls, because honestly, sometimes the worst error is an EA that just silently stops taking trades. These triggers act as your ultimate automated failsafe.
And when we talk about precision, we mean down to the microscopic level. In our source code, we actually define a floating point tolerance called EPS2, and we set it precisely to 1 × 10 to the negative 12. Why? Well, when we're iterating through thousands of closed trades to calculate your exact winning and losing streaks, MT5's floating point math can sometimes leave these microscopic rounding errors. By enforcing this precision check on every single net calculation, we guarantee razor-sharp tracking. A flat trade is properly ignored, while every true win and loss is flawlessly recorded.
To truly protect your capital, you absolutely need our correlation matrix feature. We aggregate daily returns across your grouped magics into an advanced mathematical matrix we call G-Core Mat. Think about it. Strategy A and Strategy B might look totally different on the surface, but if they're generating the exact same P&L on the exact same days, you aren't diversified. You literally just doubled your risk. This matrix mathematically proves whether your automated portfolio is truly decoupled.
Now you might be wondering, how do you measure a strategy's true return if you only started tracking it halfway through the year? Well, we solved this with a highly sophisticated G-His from logic. You basically have two options: strict in-range entry and exit tracking, or our advanced tester-like balance reconstruction. The EA dynamically subtracts balance-changing events like future deposits and withdrawals to mathematically reconstruct the exact accurate starting balance for your chosen time window, meaning your drawdown percentage will always be perfectly calibrated.
Absolute clarity, zero compromise. That is the core philosophy behind Edgezone Strategy Monitor 1.3. We have completely stripped away the legacy bottlenecks. We've built an engine that runs silently, protects your capital through advanced alerting, and gives you the exact institutional metrics required to manage a complex algorithmic portfolio. It's going to save you hours of manual spreadsheet tracking and, much more importantly, it prevents those catastrophic system crashes caused by bloated, amateur software. So, I'll leave you with this final thought. Are you ready to stop guessing and start treating your automated portfolio like a true institutional fund? If you are a serious quantitative trader, it is time to upgrade your risk management. Deploy Strategy Monitor version 1.3 today, take absolute control of your data, and scale your trading edge with Edgezone. Your capital deserves nothing less.